Ho, ho, ho! Well, I suppose it's Christmas. I'm actually shooting this probably about 15 minutes before Christmas, but that's a little inside baseball. Anyway, what I got for you today here is the Boker Desert Warrior Kalashnikov. That's one of their full-on switchblades. This one is the standard size, so 3¼ inch blade. And amazingly, for it being that short, this handle's quite comfortable. I'm actually really impressed. Obviously, I haven't really handled a whole lot of these before, but yeah. Between the really deep carry pocket clip going on there, um, quite nice and comfortable. I do like the thing. Uh, these guys are not anodized anything. They're aluminum, and obviously they got the sprinkled donut paint on there. And as you can also see, all the hardware, you got like the pivots yellow, and you got the purple push button, and you got R, G, and B for the different screws going on there, and it's mirrored on the backside. So yeah, interesting. This thing fires quite well. When I got it, there actually was a little bit of side-to-side play, but there was absolutely nothing that a T8 screwdriver couldn't fix up super, super quick. What I will say, though, is this thing does have a tiny little bit of vertical play. But from kind of what I'm familiar with a lot of button lock kind of things that aren't made from a very high-end manufacturer like ProTech, that's pretty normal for these whole button lock configuration kind of things. So it's not really anything that I worry about. Besides, I've seen a lot of these guys, not this particular colorway, but these knives beats all holy hell and still working just fine. So that's cool. It's got jimping on the front and back. So that's super nice and comfortable for, the front grip, or if you do want to do a reverse grip. And that jimping also goes on the top, so you can even do a hammer grip, I guess, if you would really like to. I guess, I mean, unless you're really just trying to dig that tip in as deep as you can into something, though. Not something that you'll probably use in day-to-day life. The blade is coated with this tealy blue kind of thing. The whole thing overall kind of reminds me of The Simpsons. Just screams Homer Simpson for some reason or another. But yeah, we got the Automat Kalashnikov 74. This isn't any spectacular kind of coating. It's just kind of a paint sort of thing. Probably the same stuff that they got going on the aluminum handles. And this is, here we go, AUS 8 blade. I believe that the 3052 is the model number for it. Overall, I really like this thing. It's grown on me a lot more now that I've actually got it in hand, as I hadn't actually handled a Kalashnikov switchblade before. And yes, I'll call it a switchblade because it's basically what it is. It's not out the front, obviously. I guess a lot of, more colloquially, those are known as stilettos, even though it's interesting because the original Italian stilettos were like that. Oh well, whatever. Something that I did find out after actually getting this is that here in Colorado, switchblades have been legal to carry since 2017. So I actually could carry this, which is great because I do kind of plan on doing that from time to time. Something that I have noticed, and you can probably see it here, there's no sharpening choil going on. And that's basically exactly what you end up getting there. You get a nice pad long before the bolstered area there, where it's just not sharpened at all. That's perfectly fine. Since I haven't really done a full review, I've been just too busy playing around with it, I can kind of check out and see kind of what kind of weight we got going on here. So we got, yeah, 3.67 ounces, 104 grams, which pretty respectable. I mean, you could probably get that down quite a bit by skeletonizing these handle scales a little bit. But yeah, that's pretty darn cool. Something else I'm also kind of curious on, the blade stock on this guy is actually not super thick. And I would like to find out what that is. So yeah, we're looking at just basically like 3 millimeters there, which is great for sliceability. The only thing that I think I might enjoy just a little bit more with this thing is if they had an upgraded steel version of it. AUS 8, you know, it's not terrible, but it's nothing to write home about. It's basically Hitachi's version of 440C, or kind of that equivalent sort of thing, which means that the blade's going to be really easy to maintain, but it's not going to stay sharp all that long. So yeah, I know that they do have some versions of these Kalashnikov guys and D2, which, you know, it would certainly be a step up, but probably kind of boring in today's landscape. They do have one particular model in Carpenter's CTS-XHP, which that would be stupid awesome if they would go that way. But I don't know, really. I do believe these are Blade HQ exclusives. I say exclusives because they do have the smaller version that I do plan on getting now when they come back in stock. Luckily, these weren't a one-time sprint run, because this was from the second batch, and they also sold out super quick, which means they'll probably order more. So hooray! So, with that being said, I want to take a look on the inside of this thing, because I have not done that. This could either go super awesome, or it could go absolutely terrible. Oh, one other thing. If you're not familiar, that's the box that all of their Kalashnikov's models come in. And yeah, it's just hilarious to open it up and see, you know, nice pink and blues and pastels and stuff. But all right, enough dilly-dallying. Let's see what we got on the inside of this thing here. We got T8 for the pivot screw. Oh, something that I'm noticing. Well, for one, it actually has a blue Loctite from the factory, so that's kind of cool. The other thing that I'm noticing is that the hardware is most likely aluminum, because there's no magnetic thing at all going on with any of them. And with the price that these Kalashnikov models go for, there's no way that it's going to be titanium. But, okay. Well, everything just kind of unfolds. So, neat. Alrighty, so we got the pivot. Hey, it's D-shape. Neat. I like that. This is the push button cap on the inside there. That's what's going to hold on to this spring. Looks like. And we have a get back here, screw. We have one nylon washer here on this side. The other side doesn't get much. It looks like it would actually hold ball bearings or you know, a bearing cage or something, but looks like it holds on to the spring to actually shoot the darn thing forward. So yeah, this looks quite similar to the other push button knife that I've taken a look at, that being the 10-gram Vector, maybe? The heck is the name of that thing? I honestly don't think that I've featured it on the channel, but I do plan on doing so. But yeah, it's this guy, which isn't a switchblade, you know. But yeah, same kind of thing. Same mechanism, but obviously this was much more hollowed out on the aluminum. And that's where the spring ends up going. It is nice and interesting that it does actually have a notch for it to sit there. So that's, I don't know. Maybe from an engineering perspective, it's not super interesting, but it is interesting to me. Um, yeah, I see just a little tiny bit of the blue from the blade kind of wearing off there. But yeah, these are the inside scales. They're aluminum, and you can certainly see that with how thick they are, they could lose some weight from some skeletonization. But it's a tried and true formula, so yeah. Alright, so I have now taken this apart, and that's the easy part. Getting it back together. That might be another thing altogether. So yeah, let's give this a little shot ski. Let's see. So I would have to go up a bit from the top so that it would meet with where this guy is pointing up at. Okay, not too bad. I also probably want to put the pivot guide in there. D-shaped faces in towards the handle, which is a little different than what you see with a lot of other manufacturers. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Just you know, something you probably want to keep in mind. So okay, I got that. Then put it under a little bit of tension. Get that blade pin in there. Luckily, the stop pin is steel. It's not aluminum, so that does offer a little bit more rigidity since the spring really forces it against that. Okay, so I'll drop that little spring in there, and then get this guy on the cap with it, and then make sure that it can actually engage by kind of pushing down on him a little bit here. And then I'll drop the scale instead of setting it on top there. And it all kind of went a little sideways. Okay, there we go. Nice. Have to remember that these aren't magnetic. So yeah, there's the pivot there for them. And at this point, make sure that the button works. And yeah, okay, cool. We're good there. So, got to drop them in RGB fashion from the top down. That way it'll actually match what's on the other side. All right, yeah, super simple to get open and closed. This guy might need just a little tiny bit of tightening up on the blade pivot. There we go, nice and rock solid. Yeah. So yeah, this thing's been a lot of fun to play around with. I haven't done a whole lot of cutting with it yet. I've, you know, generally when I get something delivered, kind of one of the things that I'll end up doing with it. Open them up, play around with them, do the whole inspection, and when I'm happy with it, I basically cut up the box that it came in, so I can at least get some sort of right out of the box experience on what it's like to actually, you know, do the tool's job. And this guy does a pretty good job. Like I said, I mean, you know, with a blade stock of 3mm at its thickest, it certainly is quite slicey. It's not the thinnest thing behind the edge, but I don't really imagine that it would be, since people actually end up using these in more harder use environments. But there is something else that I'd like to do with this thing really quick. And it has to do with a new toy that I ended up getting that I haven't been able to feature on the channel yet. And that is this duder. A lot of y'all are probably familiar with these things. It's one of the best cut test kind of things. It's got, some plastic kind of string stuff here that's a specific medium that's designed for it. And this is basically a gram scale, so it shows how many grams it takes of force going straight down to see how sharp that something is. And something that I actually find interesting, because I can check that against a couple of different sharpening methods and whatnot. So that's interesting for me, but yeah, we're basically looking at anywhere around here. If it's above that, 400 or something like that, then I got a giant problem with it that I will need to address. But yeah, let's see how sharp this dude is out of the factory. Go ahead and turn this guy on. It's already zeroed out. I can kind of stick the knife down in little holder area, and it shouldn't really do much towards the actual weight going on down here. What if I turn the light on? That might... I don't know. I will figure this out a little bit better for future ones with where my camera needs to be placed. But let's see what we got going on here. .385, so it's not the sharpest crayon in the box, shall we say. Yeah, I can use a couple others as other examples. I don't know, I'll just grab this guy because he's out there and kind of a newer one to me. So yeah, it's not too bad to reload this thing. Just basically get the little thread in there. I'll generally hold on to it with my thumb, and you tighten the screw down. It should be rather tight. So, there we go. Alright. Well, I don't want to tear, I want to reset. Oh, I'll just turn it off. Whatever. Alright, so here's another knife. And that one gave me a lot of trouble too at 350. Interesting. Alright, I'm having fun, and if I remember right, I have put quite the screaming edge on this Spyderco Native. So, that's going to be the next one I take a look at here, just so I can kind of show a little bit more of a knife sort of thing that I don't know what either of those do. Okay, whatever. All right. Oh, yeah, we're all having fun together, huh? All right. 310. I got a rating of 145 on this thing just yesterday. I must be doing something wrong with this thing. And or I set it up wrong or something weird. I don't know. But yeah, we'll go ahead and probably try and fix that and have me try to RTFM a little bit, see if there's something I'm missing with that. But yeah, something that is nice is that that little tip holder is magnetic, and it kind of goes on this outer plate that, as you can see, the pressure doesn't really do anything for it. I mean, the pressure outside here will, or certainly in here. So, yeah, pretty interesting little instrument that, once I actually learn exactly what I'm doing with it, then it'll help out quite a bit. But cool, that's what I got for y'all. So, if you're watching this the day that it came out, then Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you plan on, celebrating or not celebrating. It's all good with me. I celebrate non-denominational commercialized Christmas. So, yeah, that's why I got the red and green nails going on. But, yeah, I certainly don't have any problem with anybody celebrating whatever the hell they want. So, cool. Well, I've been Jerry. This has been a donut. And I will catch y'all later. Alrighty. Appreciate y'all watching. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your day, yo.